Good afternoon, my dear kids. Once again, we are beginning another session of the 12th chapter of science, basically part of physics. The name is electricity. Okay, this is Mithun Raj signing in from this part of the world. And today, I think within one class, we will wind up this chapter regarding only the theoretical parts. But basically, for this chapter, what is the most important thing? It is not the theoretical parts. Okay, application level questions will come regarding this heating effect of electric current, and also some of the applications of heating effect of electric currents and all that we will discuss later during revision classes. First of all, what you want to study, you want to make sure that you won't miss each and every part of the theory section. Okay, equations and all. After the end of this chapter, I will give the entire equations of this chapter. Okay. Anyway, some of the equations already you studied how to derive that. Why I am telling this deriving of equation is important regarding physics, because see, some of the equations you already derived is like this. Actually, the work done Wi square RT, that's the equation for work done. Whenever heat is produced in a wire or a conductor, actually some work is done to produce that heat. Okay, very deeply explain, I think that's not for you in 10th standard, but how that heat is produced, let me tell that, otherwise it will be difficult for you to understand. Another diagram I need for that. That diagram is in the beginning of the chapter. See, anyway, you know that this we studied how, what is the cause of this resistance. Okay, the same cause is the cause for heat. Okay, whenever these negatively charged electrons collide with these positive atoms or positive ions, what is happening inside the conductor? The rate of flow of the current will decrease. Okay, the rate of flow of current will decrease, and that decrease in current is known as the resistance of that particular conductor. But in this case, if you want to know how the heat is produced, anyway, this negatively charged electrons are moving with some force. Okay, they have some energy. Without energy, they cannot move. For example, if you want to walk, if you want to run, you need energy. And that energy, what we are eating from the food, even life process, you studied about how we are making energy in our body due to respiration. Okay, so that ATP produced inside our body makes us to move. And if you ever imagine that after running a long time, after walking a long time, or after doing a lots of physical hard work, actually the temperature of our body increases, isn't it? Yes, the metabolism rate increases. With that, the temperature of our body also increases. What is the reason? Because the energy is being burned inside our body. Okay, that is the cause of heat produced inside our body. But in the case of conductors, it is not like that. Okay, so in the case of conductors, whenever these negatively charged ions are hitting these positively charged ions or atoms, what is happening? Some of the energy these negatively charged atoms will lose. Understood? Because whenever any of the mass, anything is moving in this world, it must possess some energy within that. And when it is stopped, that energy is lost from that particular matter. But due to conservation, law of conservation of energy, energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. So what is happening here? The energy which the electron is carrying, that is transformed into heat. Okay, law of conservation of energy states that energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can change into one form to another. Here, the moving force, okay, the moving force of this negatively charged ion is converted into heat energy. That is the cause of heat generated inside that conductor. Okay, that is no, it won't ask for exam, but you must know how the heat is generated inside that conductor. Okay, it is not a question for you for the examination, but how the heat is generated. Okay, and for a metal which has a lots of these positively charged ions or atoms inside the conductor, such metals or such conductors will have high resistance. Okay, and you already know that this resistance is directly proportion to what? Resistivity, isn't it? See, resistivity is directly proportional. Okay, when the resistance increases, resistivity already automatically it will also increase. So for alloys such as nichrome, or lots of alloys are there, but nichrome is mostly used alloy which has high resistivity. In that case, the number of positive ions inside nichrome will be very very high. That's why it creates a lots of heat inside it. The same application we are using in the case of what? In the case of these types of coils. Okay, basically it is made of nichrome. Nowadays, a lots of variety of alloys are there in the market, but the most commonly used alloy is nichrome. Okay, it's a mixture of nickel and chromium, which gives high resistivity. Let's see. Resistivity of nichrome is given in textbook. If you want, you can refer there. Okay. So come back here. Heating effects of electric current. You already know about this. It is directly proportional to the square of the current inside that conductor, and also directly proportional to the resistance, and directionally proportional to the time. Okay, if the current increases, resistivity increases. That means heat also increases. Resistance increases, not resistivity. Resistivity is constant for a material. Okay, and it is also the heat generated is also directly proportional to resistance. Understand? And it's also directly proportional to the time taken. If we pass electricity for a long time, the heat generated will be maximum. Okay, for example, if we are passing 5 seconds current for 5 seconds, maybe at 1000 joule heat is produced. The same material, if we transfer heat for 10 or 20 minutes, the heat generated will be very very high. In some cases, that heat energy is converted into light energy. You already know that. A simple example, if we burn something, what is happening? Heat is generated. At the same time, light is also generated. Is it? For example, if you are burning firewood, the primary energy conversion is happening in the form of heat. Okay, that fuel which is ignited is converted into heat energy, and light is generated in that reaction. Isn't it? The same thing is happening in the case of this coil also. So you already know about the work done is what? We have an equation, voltage potential difference is equal to work done to take a unit charge from one place to another. This equation we can apply. W is equal to Q into V. But Q we know, I into T. Equation for current, rate of flow of charges, Q by T. Q by T is I. And V is equal to IR by Ohm's law. Just substitute this in. We will get W work done is equal to I square RT. This is the main equation for work done or heat generated. Okay. So these coils, it has a particular property. The basically 3 applications you are studying in this chapter is regarding electric iron or this electric heater. Same method they are using. And one more thing is their electric bulb or incandescent bulb, the old type bulb we are using in your home. Okay, that which produces that yellow light, not this LED lamp. And one more thing is there, it is called as the electrical fuse. Okay, electrical fuse. So first we will discuss about the electrical fuse. There is a particular mechanism in your home which is called as electrical fuse. Okay, this is a very old one. Nowadays we are using trippers or MCB. Okay, MCB is there. MCB means micro circuit breakers. It also works in the same principle, but it is more safe than a fuse. So what is the use of this fuse? Basically, if high voltage comes, I told these all things are what? These are the home appliances which we have in our home. Okay, home appliances, for example, television, AC, washing machine. Anyway, you know that these appliances are very, very expensive. Okay, it is not that much cheap. Just imagine high voltage comes and our entire electric circuit in our home is burned out. The same thing happen with our appliances also. Okay, anyway, like an AC will cost like 25,000, a fridge will cost like 10 or 15,000, and an LED TV will cost like 20-30,000 rupees. Basically, most of your home will have all these appliances. That means at least like 1 lakh or 1,50,000 of appliances is daily connected to the connections, isn't it? The main line which comes from the electric post. But in our basically in our country, what is happening during the time of rainfall, during the time of thunderstorm, and even cyclones or heavy wind, what will happen? Some tree will break down and it will fall onto the circuit wire. Not circuit wire, this transmission wires. Where is transmission wires? I think where is it? Yeah, anyway, leave it. These are the transmission wire. It will come and fall into this wire. So what will happen? Actually, these transmission lines will have 2 or 3 phases. Okay, that we will study next chapter. Not here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 or 4 lines are there. Each line has 230 volt. Okay, 220 or 230 volt. If they intersect with each other, okay, if they touches with each other, what will happen? High voltage will flow through that particular line, isn't it? But our home appliances, it requires only small amount of voltage, not small amount of voltage. 230 volt means it's a good voltage. If we just touch that much current means we will get huge electric shock. Okay, but what we require only 230 volt. That much current is enough for us. But if short circuiting, that means that what is the 2 wires are intersecting between each other. At that time, what will happen? Huge current will flow. Okay, huge current will flow. It will pass the electric meter, it will pass the main switch, and it will pass through our electrical appliances. And if heavy current or heavy voltage is passing through our electrical appliances, it will be damaged. Okay, it will cause huge loss for us. Okay, huge loss will happen to us. To avoid that, what we are using? We are using a particular simple thing called as fuse. It is nothing. Fuse means just a wire, a small wire. Basically, we are using lead wire for that, lead or lead. Okay, a material wire which is made up of lead. Okay, lead is a metal. And what is the property of this metal called as lead? This lead has high resistivity. Okay, if high resistivity means the heating effect of electric current will be high in this lead. There is a small wire inside this fuse that is called as lead. And when current passes, what will happen? The lead wire will become hot. But there is a problem for this lead. Its melting point is very, very low. Isn't it? Melting point means the temperature at which that particular matter will start to melt. So what will happen? The lead wire will break. Okay? But the common copper we are using for household wiring, its melting point is a bit more higher than the lead wire. So when high voltage comes, automatically this lead wire will break. And this connection will become open circuit. So no current will pass through the appliances, and our appliances are very, very safe. Okay, that is the function of fuse. Okay, that we notes I will give. Just you have to understand what is the function of the fuse. So fuse has, we are using such materials for fuse which has high resistivity but very low melting point. Okay, the same thing happening in the case of electric bulb. See, this is an electric bulb, an ordinary electric bulb. Have you seen a small coiled wire is inside this bulb? Okay, in your home, if you check means you can get old bulbs, not LED bulb, old incandescent bulb, okay, or electric bulb is there. If you check, you can see that small coils are there inside that bulb. Why we are making that coil very, very small? If you are making very, very thinner means if the thickness is low, resistance will be high. And if the resistance is high, heat generated will be very very high. But in the case of bulb, we are using a particular type of metal called as tungsten. Okay, tungsten filament we are using in the case of bulb. And tungsten, it has high resistivity, at the same time it has high melting point also. Tungsten's melting point is like 5300 degree Celsius, I think, above 5300 degree. So it is a huge, isn't it? That much amount of heat is not produced inside the bulb. So what will happen when current passing through tungsten coil, due to heating effect of electric current, it will become hot, and that heat generated inside that tungsten coil is emitted out as light energy. That is the working principle of electrical bulb. Okay, which material we want to use? In the case of fuse, we used material with high resistivity and low melting point. But if you use lead here or lead here, what will happen? Easily our bulb will fuse out, isn't it? It will burn out. There is no use of using lead. So we are using material which has high resistivity and very low melting point, such as tungsten. The next case, it is about electric iron. I don't have any picture of electric iron here. Let me see. No, I don't have. The electric iron also same. There is a coil like this inside our electrical iron. Okay, we are using electrical iron to iron our clothes. Any doubt about that? No doubt regarding that. Same, a material like this is there. Mostly we are using nichrome coil. Okay, a coil is there like this inside our electrical iron, and it will become, when we pass electricity, it will become hot, and that heat is enough for us to iron our clothes. But if we touch that surface, will we get electrical shock? If we directly touch the surface of this coil, we will get electrical shock, because electricity is directly supplied to this coil. But in the case of our iron box, we are not getting any shock. What is the reason? A simple thing, a layer of insulation is there. And insulation, actually we are using a particular material called as mica. Okay, mica sheets we are using. Mica is a non-metallic mineral. Okay, it is a good conductor of heat and very very bad conductor of electricity. So only the heat is passed to the electrical iron. Okay, that's why we are not getting any shock. It's not an application level question, it's only for your general knowledge. Okay, so these are the three uses of heating effect of electrical current. The first one is electrical fuse. Okay, electrical fuse which we are using in electrical circuit. Okay, this material has high resistivity but low melting point. So when high voltage comes, current also will increase, and this fuse will be burned out. So our appliances will be very very safe. Our TV, our AC, our washing machine, everything will be safe. If there is no fuse, high voltage will flow through the electrical meter, main switch, and our appliances will be burned. Understand? Okay, the next one is about electrical iron or electrical bulb. We use tungsten for that. Okay, incandescent lab or electrical bulb, we use a material called as tungsten. Okay, tungsten has high resistivity and high melting point. So it converts heat energy into light energy, which we are using as our electrical bulb. But in the case of LED, it is not that phenomena. Okay, LED is a diode, light emitting diode. There electrical energy is directly converted into light energy. Heat is not that much generated. Okay, that you study in PUC, your higher secondary education, not in 10th standard. The last one is about what? It is about electrical iron. Mostly we are using nichrome coil, and this coil become red hot. See, red hot when current is passed through it, and this heat generated is being transferred into that metal plate. Okay, metal plate at the bottom of the iron box, and that metal plate, when it is hot, we will use it to iron our clothes. But there is a particular material between this coil and the metal plate. It is called as mica sheet. Mica is a very good conductor of very good conductor of heat, but very bad conductor of electricity. So it won't pass electricity through it, so we are safe from the electrical shock. Okay, so this is some basics regarding this heating effect of electric current. The last portion is electrical power. Okay, we will finish electric power. There is nothing regarding that. It's very easy. Just see this. So, what is electrical power? It is simple. Electrical power of an appliance is the rate at which it consumes electrical energy. Okay, electrical energy means what? What do you mean by electrical energy? Energy means work, isn't it? We already have equation for work. W is equal to I square RT, isn't it? See. So, rate of consumption of this work done or energy produced is known as power, isn't it? It is the rate at which work is done in maintaining an electrical current in an electrical circuit. Rate at which consumes electrical energy. Okay, rate of work done means work divided by time. That is the equation for electrical power. See, we have work done by time. So we have three equations for power. First, we already know what is W. W is VIT. Okay, work done by time means VIT by T. P is equal to VI is the first equation for power. Second one, I square RT we know, isn't it? I square RT. Just divided by T, we will get I square R and V square by R. Actually see, here W is equal to I square RT. Power is what? W by time. I square RT divided by time is what? Time and time cancels, we will get I square R. Isn't it? That's simple. What is it? It is the work done. Okay, work done, or it is already known as electrical power. This definition is 1 mark question, and this one will come for numerical. 3 equation is there for regarding power. P is equal to voltage into current. Power is equal to square of current into resistance. Power is equal to square of voltage divided by resistance. These are the 3 equations regarding power. Very simple. SI unit of power is watt. You already know that. Okay, and 1 watt is what? 1 watt is the power consumed by a device to carry 1 ampere of current when operated at a potential difference of 1 volt. If 1 volt is the potential difference given to the circuit, 1 watt is what? The work done to carry 1 ampere of current through it. Okay, so it is very simple also. See, power 1 watt is equal to 1 voltage required to carry 1 ampere of current, and its unit is watt, W-A-T-T, watts. If you see electrical devices, okay, if you see the cover of electrical devices, you can see its power mentioned in that. It is called as watt or W. Okay, a W letter is used. If you just check the bulb and all in your home, there will be written like 10 watt, 8 watt and all. Okay, whenever watt is reduced, our current will become very low. Whenever this watt increases, our current will become very high. Let's see another thing, watt hour. So watt hour is what? Hour means 1 hour. You already know that. So watt hour is defined as the electrical energy consumed by an appliance for 1 hour. So just imagine an electrical appliance's total power is 1 watt and it is used for 1 hour. For example, zero bulb or very small bulbs are there. Just imagine that its total power is 1 watt. The normal CFL we are using in home or LED bulb we are using at home, its power is like 5 watt or 10 watt. But what is watt hour? 1 watt is used for 1 hour, that is called as watt hour. But in the case of electrical energy consumed, okay, you are getting current bill. It is based on this kilowatt hour. Kilowatt means 1000 watt. 1000 watt used in 1 hour. It is also called as unit. Okay, UNIT, unit. And your current charge comes regarding on these units. How many units you consumed in your home? Basically regarding that you are getting your current bill. Okay, any doubts means when this electrical, that from electricity department, that man comes to read the meter, just ask him, he will describe it very well. Okay, how, what is units and all. Maybe if he knows he will explain, otherwise he won't. So kilowatt hour. These are all 1 mark questions. Okay, but one numerical will come regarding this. This is important. This is important. If you want, you can take the screenshot of this one. This is also a very good part. 1 kilowatt hour is the energy supplied in 1 hour to an appliance whose power is 1 kilowatt. That means 1000 watt. 1 kilowatt hour means 1000 kilowatt used for 1 hour. In the case of our home, there will be lots of appliances, isn't it? Alright or not? So the entire appliances, how much power they are consuming in 1 hour. Okay, that is called as kilowatt hour. And that 1 kilowatt hour is known as unit. Okay, it is measured in unit in our home. Okay, unit. I am not telling that SI unit, not that. It's the particular word called as unit. 1 kilowatt hour means 1 unit. Okay, how to convert into joule? Actually, the real unit of work done is joule. You already know that. To convert 1 kilowatt hour into joule, what you want? 1 kilowatt into 1 hour. 1 kilowatt is 1000 watt. 1 hour is 3600 seconds. It will become 3.6 into 10 raised to 6 joule. Okay, 1 kilowatt hour is 3.6 into 10 raised to 6 joule. Numericals will come, convert this into joules. Okay, anyway, during numericals we will discuss about that. That is almost the end of this chapter. I will give the chapter wise notes. Okay, chapter wise notes I will give. You want to copy it directly to your science notebook. Okay, so the entire equations also you want to write it in one page of your science notebook. Anyway, I know that this chapter is not that much interesting. It's a boring chapter. I know that electricity is a very boring chapter. But what to do? This chapter will have a lots of marks for you in your final exam. Some part of this chapter is being taken. I don't know which part. Only CBSE they declared some part is being cut out from the entire syllabus. But state government didn't declare that. Hope not the entire chapter, only a part will go. So what you want to do? Just theories, just read it. Okay, theories. Some of the notes I have given, it's only the basic notes. Some extra question answers and also I will give you. You want to file it and the textbook question answers you want to write it in your CW. Okay, that's too much question answers are there. If you write all means it will be very difficult for you. So that's it, my dear kids. Stay home during this corona pandemic. Now it's a common thing in our entire country. Okay, now we are very much aware about this pandemic called as corona. So it's better to stay home, stay safe. Okay, I hope to see you all soon. The school will reopen. Anyway, 10th standard will be open in September. We are hoping for that. So till then, stay at home, stay safe. Okay, my dear kids, bye and Jai Hind, kids.